All right, thank you guys. Great breakdown from Mitch and Dean over on the fake desk as always. But we are into the pistol round now. We do have Inferno, of course, coming up first between these two teams, and already we did actually miss a kill. Unfortunate. The apologies, of course, it took us a little bit too long to get in, but that puts Astralis in a little bit of an awkward spot here, looking to just try and finish it towards B, where already there is a three-man stack in. Rops, I believe, looking to try and get flashed through that smoke as well. Unfortunately, not quite going in time initially, but manages to catch two and drops the bomb now out in the open, and Frozen still towards that back of the bomb site is able to put up a little bit more defense.
And Glaive has to find the clutch now in the 1v3. He's managed to get himself a P250 at the start of the round and still has the flash on his utility belt. Problem, he hasn't got any Kevlar to work with. And up against these three players, that could be quite a task on his hands. He slowed down through Banana and eventually goes up towards the B bomb site. He's made the task a little bit easier for himself with Chris J rotating to A. But the cross is being watched here from mousesports, and they're not even trying to take the fights necessarily. They just want to spot Glaive if he does come towards B, and now they can just hide away, wait for him to tap that bomb, and swing on out and take him down. He's made it to the bomb site at least, but he might think that's the only player in towards CT, and that's where the jeopardy starts. Rops slowly coming around in the coffins. No, they thought it was maybe going to be a fake, but Glaive has balls of steel. He plants it straight away, now looking for the ace.
Ooh, yeah, nice timing there from Rops. The second his teammate takes contact in the CT, just peeking in from coffins, able to get that trade at least, played pretty well. In the end, though, the fact that Glaive was able to get that bomb down, also getting himself 3 kills overall, a little bit of a boost to the economy. The question is, do they want to go in for the buy here? I mean, they could come out with the Galils and such if they wanted to. They can also just take the eco, but immediately Glaive, he does go in for the AK. The question is now, what else did they buy up? They could have just gone for the one hero AK, but indeed, dropping over what they can. Xyp9x is able to get one, has the Kevlar for himself as well. Magisk and then Glaive are the other men working with rifles, only really leaving Dupree and then Device, I believe, as well, being limited. They only have the Deagle. So, I mean, not the perfect buy for Astralis, but the main weakness is just being those two players. They also have a decent amount of utility onto both Xyp9x and Magix. So, I mean, this round could definitely be dangerous when you look at the weaponry that both teams have available. A little bit of a, I guess a little bit of a stack over towards short on the A side of the map. So if Astralis were to, for example, attack around mid, if they were to put the smoke down towards short, they'd have a really good opportunity to try and take that long control. Because right now, I believe both of those players just playing underneath quad, not really having anyone boosted up the spot over. But for now, anyway, Astralis not really getting too aggressive, waiting to see if any aggression came in the beginning of this round.
Yeah, Astralis slowing it down massively. With the AKs, they need to look for ranged advantages, and they were hoping mousesports would maybe go for a peek in Banana, try to get aggressive there. But Mouse know what they're up against. They know that this buy is not one they want to be challenging and pushing and giving any unnecessary advantages in. Leaving it very late to use up their smoke as well on middle keeps the T's back a little bit longer. And with 50 seconds left, you can see Astralis want to move towards A with apartments control as well. Mouse slowly backing off on short, not looking to take the advanced fights anymore, and happy to run that clock down somewhat. Also, have to be a little bit worried at this point about them having pushed up long, but that is just going to be checked by Woxic in a second. It's going to be a very late push by Astralis, and this is dangerous because with 25 seconds left as they push forward, not taking anyone down off Mouse on the A bomb site, time could be a real issue.
Yeah, as you said, no one over towards long either, so it's given Woxic the room to just move in, be on that bomb site alongside Chris J, and getting this bomb planted is going to be extremely difficult. I mean, Magisk actually finding that opening kill, okay, manages to take down Woxic as well, and just pretty much cleans up the bomb site apart from Chris J in the back. It at least gives them the room to get that bomb planted. My auto-director being quite useless right there, not going to lie to you, but they do overrun the bomb site despite mousesports having been set up, despite the time being so low. It is Magisk who comes in and really is the hero in this round, leaving Frozen with really no option other than to just try and save this FAMAS over. I mean, he has $50 left in the bank, and even then, that's not the worst on his team. Karrakin has the same, Woxic has 0. So coming into this next round for mousesports, only getting, of course, $1,400, it's going to be a pretty difficult spot where they are likely just going to have to go for that full force buy and still not really be afforded too much to work with.
Really great smoke usage by Astralis as they pushed forward, isolating the players in the bomb site from the fights, so you could see them taking essentially 2 or 3v1s in every duel that went down. There was no opportunity for Mouse to trade in the positions that they were in, and although there were, the smokes just completely took that away. And for Mouse, probably into a force buy was the only choice, considering all the players double eco. As you were saying, there was quite a lack of cash with the full investment they made in the previous round. And with Astralis surviving with so many players as well, they've got full AKs alongside one M4 for device. Still a little bit of cash in the back pocket, but with mousesports buying, this is their opportunity to hopefully stunt the growth of the Astralis economy, slow things down a little bit. It's definitely not going to be the easiest, though, considering Astralis played slow and steady. With the kind of buy mousesports have, you're hoping a team is going in for map control, pushing into your pistols and getting domed off, but if Astralis go for the same kind of thing they did in the previous round, it will really limit the impact these pistols can have.
Yeah, definitely a small bit more aggression up around mid this time. Wanting to try and stop, I guess, those players from really peeking in and finding any info, or at least have the ability to punish them if they do. The smoke, though, going down. I was wondering if Astralis would actually try and continue to move through this, and it looks like they will. Frag eventually being found by Dupree. There was a player around the long corner who wasn't really able to peek in and help despite no smoke being down. Eventually will catch himself one, and I mean, overall so far, not going too bad for Mouse. They've been able to trade this into the 3-on-3. They've, for the moment at least, fended off that mid-aggression, and it does seem like Astralis now want to bring it back towards B, which is probably what mousesports are waiting for. They have two players in position. They still have some utility as well to delay. And with 45 seconds left for Astralis, it does seem like they will just commit in here eventually.
Yeah, that time's becoming a real issue, but they're deciding to go back in towards the A-bomb site. They've got the manpower to clear this out. Had someone have went down for a flank, they do have to be conscious of second mid, but as they barrel forward, time is of the essence. They can't afford to spend too long lurking around, and luckily, mousesports have been very passive this round. Rops is over towards Graveyard. He peeks out for one, but he's getting nothing at all. And with Frozen spotted on long and spammed to 19 HP, mousesports may be calling time of death on this round. This retake is definitely not going to be easy to make happen.
No, again, not having any money in the next round, having a small bit here that they can carry over and have a chance to try and keep the damage on. I mean, at least getting 2 kills here with the Force Buy, so they're not letting the Astralis economy get completely out of control, like you said. They did at least have a little bit left over as well on the T side, so it's not impacting them in this next round, but it's mousesports at least keeping the pressure on trying to keep that economy modest. So you don't really expect anyone from Astralis to try and hunt anyway. They likely will just exit together, try and keep these 3 rifles up. And on the other side, then, I don't think we'll really see any other sort of investment in this next round. Probably just the 3 default pistols around what they have saved over here. Unfortunately, Frozen not having a pistol he can give to anyone either, so I'm not too sure exactly what we're going to see in this next round. Chris J does have the defuse kit, though, so I wouldn't be too surprised maybe if we see them just stack up one of the bomb sites, take a little bit of a gamble here. Perhaps have the 3 players just on those default pistols, take the opening contact and see if the Deagle and the FAMAS can pick off at least a couple players then.
Yeah, the prospects are pretty grim for mousesports. Stacking up towards A early on, maybe look for a bit of aggression. I'm surprised that they eased off in the previous round. I expected them to go up in apartments and try to force some fights there. And down aggressively in middle, going for peaks, but it was very individually played. Woxic taking the peak alone on short. A player, I think, was Rops isolated on long as well. Astralis had a lot more opportunities than they necessarily could have, with Zipnix also pushing through apartments by himself. If there was a Deagle there to meet him, it would have been a pretty even fight at the end of the day in those kind of angles. And they've blitzed into the B-bomb site and taken it over with the sole holder, Carrigan, on the USP, not able to manage all too much, to nobody's surprise. As now mousesports, again, just anchoring down for the saves. Woxic, Rops, they can hunt, they can try to find a kill here or there, but realistically, this is going to be a... oh, is Rops... is he DC'd? I was expecting him to start moving towards Banana.
I think he
or
has,
CT
yeah.
to try and catch a couple of Ts on the exit, but it looks like he might have some network difficulties. One of the downsides of playing online, I guess.
Having a look at the ping, yeah, just on 39 there, was hired and his teammate's just going to sit in there and is indeed gone. So 100% now, we know we've lost Rops. Probably see a pause for a couple of moments, hopefully not something too serious, perhaps a big
either that or
crash.
He really likes holding mid.
Yeah, and he was like, alright, I've done what I need to do, I'm out. But yeah, no, we'll see the pause come in here unless he joins back in the next couple of seconds, most likely.
The tech pause through. Yeah. So
with that, I mean, still pretty early in the game for Mouse coming into this next round, of course, where they actually do get the guns. Frozen, he saved over that FAMAS now for 2 rounds, has it been? Or 3, maybe.
One of the downsides you don't get to see all too often when Pro League would be on LAN.
You don't get to see the disconnects.
Usually people are going to be...
There's still a lot of issues usually on LAN somehow. I think I'm having a Discord issue here. Mitch, can you hear me? Okay, Mitch can't hear me. Discord is messing up for us completely. This happened earlier. I'm gonna have to rejoin. Hello? Alright guys, I don't know what's going on. Discord doesn't like me apparently.
Dean, are you there, my
Can
friend?
you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, we're having
That
technical
was
issues
very
too. That was very
unusual.
random.
I mean,
I
it's
could
just
still
a
hear
world
you.
of tech issues right now.
I could still hear you. You just couldn't hear me.
That was happening to you earlier on, though, right? As well.
Yeah.
Where you could hear me, and I can hear
We're
you.
now on a US server. we're not on a European server anymore. This one's working better.
I switched over. Made in the USA apparently is better. I was wondering. I was like, damn, Dean's around to the toilet. He's gone in the middle of the round. Now, this is something that I guess everybody's probably experienced at home nowadays. A lot of servers, whether it's Discord, TeamSpeak, whatever it may be, are having some issues with load that they normally wouldn't, obviously, around different times of the evening. It's what we gotta deal with. And some people I know have they might have a business line for their internet, and it could be 2 or 3 connections, most with 2. And at times, both of the lines have been completely gone. I think Banks was having that earlier, where his ping was just insane.
I think at the moment, just a lot of people, of course, on the internet.
Of course, yeah. The infrastructure is not built for everybody to be online at the same time all the time. That's not really what you'd expect to have.
And unfortunately, we still don't have Rops back yet. He is still missing for the moment. I'll actually have a look and see if the admins have given us any info or if we have any news about when we should be getting back into this one. Okay, so I do indeed see that the pause has been removed. We're, of course, just waiting on the GoTV to actually catch up now. Apologies, guys. There was a lot of technical issues there at one point. Again, I hope that doesn't happen to us again, because I wasn't aware until I realized that Mitch was talking over me at one point, and I was like, okay, I need to check what's going on, because Mitch doesn't do that. So it's like,
I was just like, you know what, Dean, I don't give a damn what you have to say. All right, I'm going to talk over you all. No, obviously it was yeah, I was wondering why you were being so quiet. It's like, Dean usually likes to talk.
They can still hear me though, obviously, because my mic's just going through OBS.
Yeah, of course.
So it was both of us just. I was like, hang on, what's happening?
That's the servers right now in Discord for us. What can you do? Maybe we should Facebook call instead, Dean. I'm sure that would be more stable.
Oh yeah, and the quality would be A1.
100%. But yeah, well, what I was saying was what you presumably responded to and I didn't hear was how I was shocked that mousesports didn't go aggressive in that second round. When they had the pistols bought up around the rifle, I thought this is where we're going to see them, or the third round, excuse me. So we're gonna see them pushing in, getting aggro, getting in Astralis' face and showing them who's boss. And instead they played very far back, and that allowed Astralis to obviously execute it and just destroy them one at a time. Not really making use of the advantage you get with those pistols.
Yeah, no, I was a bit curious as well. That's why I said I presume they would have stacked up somewhere, maybe had the pistols get aggressive in the front and have the FAMAS and Deagle just peeking in behind them, because then they would have had a chance to maybe get a few kills. But yeah, we didn't really see much in that previous round. It's now, of course, Mouse do have the full buy. Not perfect. I mean, already having used quite a bit of that utility themselves, taking a small bit of damage. They were frozen, being tagged down. I believe it was while he was peeking over towards Banana, and Nade must have done it. But for the moment, still plenty of time. Astralis, of course, having a lot of utility themselves, will begin to move forward once these smokes fade away. As we've seen in those previous rounds, just using the mollies carefully, making sure no one can stay up close, and just giving themselves pretty much all the options to work with in the round. For the moment, though, not really doing too much around mid. They do have Zipix watching for any aggression, but other than that, most of their focus actually being over towards Banana.
There's a decent hold from mousesports with still some utility left on B. In a round like this, it's probably the most you could hope for. The smoke to slow them down. With 40 seconds left, it goes down. Astralis pushing in through it. This is a brave play from Glaive. He's got the pre-fire, but not the kill. Chris J tucked in the corner. Not a chance. As Magic deletes him, that's going to be a plant. And they've even managed to take Carrigan as well. Oh, Mouse. Left now in a 2v4. This should be, again, a save, Dean. They lose the round so quickly.
They're just getting rolled over right now. I mean, we've seen a pretty convincing pistol round from them. They got that initial frag, they did end up losing one, but we've seen them playing really confident. Rops, of course, going through the smoke. Since then, though, losing that force buy, we haven't really seen them get anything going. Even when they have got a couple of kills, they've been mostly inconsequential. And right now, I don't think Woxic is even going to be allowed to save this M4, unfortunately, because there is that one player in the apartments who spotted him. There's also Device then coming up through mid. You can see, of course, with the money that Astralis have begun to build up, they're willing to try and actually risk a couple of these weapons, and it works out for Xyp9x. Able to take down Woxic, leaving Rops now just on the bomb site. I think he should survive. The bomb's now exploded, so unless Device just sprints straight onto the bomb site, then at least one rifle will be carried over. But it's obviously not enough for them to buy into this one. So Astralis, with this, likely going to go up 5-1. We can see maybe a few pistols and some Kevlar obviously being purchased up, as they do now have the full loss bonus going. But Astralis taking control here early on. One thing we hadn't actually got a chance to comment on yet was the map pool, of course. So coming in here, Inferno being the map choice of Astralis. We didn't have Dust 2 being the pick on mousesports. And if needed, Nuke is the decider. So with the way this map pool has gone down, I think it's pretty strong for both of these teams. I think even when I asked you in the beginning, you were saying Mouse were, in theory, looking pretty good with how the map veto had gone.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Inferno's not a huge advantage for Astralis, but how it's been played out so far. Oh, let's cut that off for a second. Woxic's tucked up close. He's not going to swing. He's going to wait. The player's being baited in, you would hope, as Chris J gets taken down. Here we go. Free kill for Woxic. No! He's missed every shot. That's upsetting. And now the pistols remain over towards the B bomb site, looking for something. Carrigan's already pushed up second mid and is in search of Xyp9x. It was hit a little bit by Woxic. He's just that little bit easier to kill. And obviously, Rop's just saving the M4. But Carrigan and Frozen can look out for those kills. Try to pick up a rifle on the exit.
Yeah, my auto-director is terrible right now. I don't know about yours, Mitch. So I'm probably just going to have to try and do this observing myself. And I also apologize for that. But yeah, right now, Rops again left to save. I think... Has it been every round pretty much so far that mousesports have actually just been forced to save? Obviously, you can't blame them. They've had no other options. They need those weapons to be carried over. But as you said, it's showing how dominant the Astralis are, especially as they're just going into those bomb sites, pretty much taking them over cleanly and very, very efficiently, not giving any time for the rotations to come into place before they actually get that bomb down and such. So, yeah, Mouse are struggling. The buy going to come in here. They can get pretty much everything they want. They won't be lacking utility like they were in that previous gun round. So this is definitely the best buy that they're going to have so far. But if they fail to pick this one up, then they are in a lot of trouble, because Astralis will really just begin to run away with their T side at that point.
And Mauser, see, the reason they're left in a position where they have to rotate, or where they have to save so frequently, is because they can't really afford to get any rotates. They're playing super passive on bomb sites, so by the time they realize a hit's coming in, and with Astralis leaving it to 30 or 40 seconds left in every round to make those hits happen, Mauser essentially, if they lose that hold, which they're likely to in 5vx fights, then they're pretty much forced to save, because you're not going to want to go for a retake when you've got a full rotate to make happen and a 2 to 3 man disadvantage, as they've had so frequently. This should be the turning point, though. Those early rounds can be scrappy. Everyone's trying to get a grasp on their economy, but now Mouse have got the strongest buy so far, an AWP for Woxic to play with, and a good opportunity for him to maybe take a pick to mid. He plays that little bit slower, crossing over, and now pulling towards the bomb site. And again, we're lacking a lot of aggression from Mouse, but nades do go down in Banana, dealing a good bit of damage to Glaive, and the Molly almost catches him off. Although the Molly doesn't, Carrigan does, with a quick headshot.
Yeah, they decided to peek in on it. Right now, Woxic actually could have been in trouble. You can see he was focused on mid, and it's actually Dupree who was working around the boiler. I think it'd be alright for a second. You see that smoke going over there from Xyp9x. So they are definitely looking to try and put some pressure around mid here. I'd imagine Woxic tries to take the one shot, see if he can pick up one kill, and then just falls back, because of course they already do have a little bit of an advantage. Don't really want to be risking giving away any kills. So with that, Astralis indeed able to take themselves this mid control, or at least kind of show the presence around that area, because it seems like they do want to back off and focus a little bit more towards B, and it looks like Carrigan is definitely tempted to peek there. As soon as that op shot goes off, I would imagine he will not do so, but 50 seconds left. Again, mousesports doing a good job in this one at least now, actually getting themselves the advantage despite Astralis even being able to get the map control. So it does still give Astralis quite a few options of what they want to do. As you can see, mousesports just in towards both of the bomb sites for the moment, not having an idea about what's happening until those smokes actually do begin to go down.
Moving forward, Mouse with 20 seconds left. They could again make the clock into a bit of a problem for Astralis, who still haven't made it out of the bomb site. They start to move forward. Utility's limited at this point. Flash over. They spotted a player, but Rop still gets himself a double. That is devastating. Now on the bomb site, 2 players holding down. It's very unlikely anything gets done. Device good for a kill, though. Holding up close. Walks into the AWP. Gets one. Dropped afterwards. There's no time for Dupree. He has to get the kills, and he can't afford to do it. The players are too far away, and an AWP out in the open. He'll pick it up right at the last minute. But Astralis, like we said, leaving the clock down to 30 or 40 seconds, it can work for you when you're up against the pistols, up against the limited utility, but when they've got those smokes, those flashes to keep you back once you start trying to move forward, they force those early fights. That's a much better face for Mouse, and one that you're not going to get away with such slow rounds against.
Yeah, I mean, even with some of the kills actually going in there, I was a little bit worried once Device was able to pick up that double, but Woxic coming through with that one, just wasting that couple of extra seconds, ended up coming in massively clutch. But look at this, Mouse just straight down banana. For some reason, the auto director again has brought me away from it. We do eventually actually see a couple trades just coming in, so for the moment, it seems like both teams kind of just willing to give up that banana control. A smoke down towards the bottom. I'm not sure if around car was smoked off or not, but either way, mousesports happy enough to have gone for the 1-for-1 trade. Surprisingly, not trying to keep the control at all. I guess expecting that Astralis will want to try and fight right back in for it once that smoke actually does go away. And as we can see, that is the case.
Mouse suspecting this to be a hit in towards the bomb side, have rotated heavily, leaving Woxic in a very passive position with the AWP. He's not peeking down banana, nor is he even in the CT angle, but playing on the steps of sight. This is very dangerous. Getting one kill will be, well, hopefully possible, but afterwards, fading back to the bomb site gives him a very limited space of reaction, and luckily Carrigan is on his way back through CT to be a fairly quick bit of assistance, but he's got no util. If they smoke off CT, as they will, he can't flash through it for Woxic to get him out safely, and this could be a very, very risky round. I'm curious to see what Woxic can make happen from this point, as Astralis look to push again with 25 left.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets flashed off, is forced to drop the smoke, but as you said, again, the time being extremely low here for Astralis, so they do need to find these openings quickly, and I mean, one lurker being taken down on the A side of the map. Fortunately, Device does get that opening, and Glaive, he's able to catch Carrigan, who was getting a little bit pushy there through the smoke. Trying to use that one, I guess that was down to the left a little bit further, covering off banana. But Astralis were not going to fall for that, expecting it, leaving, again, just a save really being the only option for the remaining players. Chris J and Rops instantly backing off, and it will at least give them 2 rifles. Alongside Chris J having a pretty decent amount of money, they will get 2,900 going into this next round with the loss bonus, so maybe we could see a buy being scraped together. Chris J could actually drop 2 rifles over, so we'll see what they will do with it. I wouldn't be too surprised with the score that we're at, but they also could just consider that one more eco, and of course into the round afterwards make sure they can get the ops out and such.
Such good usage of the flashes of the smokes as they moved on forward. The Mouse having limited utility, you saw how that bit them in the ass there, and for Astralis, they took advantage of even the Molotov that went down up close. It forced Woxic out into the open. He stepped left even further into the molly, gets himself flashed as well as they come around the corner, and I mean, he was just dead from the get-go. Carrigan's decision to push the smoke was definitely a risky one, but this time not paying off, and with Astralis up on 6, they are looking set to continue on that kind of course. I mean, Mouse, they're down on their last dollar, their last dime, with an SMG making an appearance again, limited utility coming into the round, and they're going to try and compensate with an aggressive push from Rops. He's already up in the apartments. Banana's being poked at as well by mousesports. This is a very risky play, but they managed to find an opening there for Frozen as Rops falls and loses apartments. Zipnik's with a double. Oh no, that leaves a solo B player to be Woxic yet again. He's always the last man on the sites, it seems. And under pressure, catches one.
Yeah, that was a great flick right there. He's still in trouble on the bomb site, especially as the molly goes down, but does come up heroic there to be able to get himself that one more kill, leaving it now just unfrozen. So the bomb does get planted, but he's already up close. Glaive not initially realizing that. Will get caught, but Magisk doesn't care. Swinging around, knowing there's low health on that final player, and he will be able to get the headshot. That was very ballsy right there by Magisk. After the damage was done, he just committed to it, threw the flash in, and it was a little bit unfortunate. Nice attempt by Frozen. If he was able to get the kill on the first shoulder peek there around the box, he probably would have been able to push in a little bit cleaner, having not taken damage. But Yeah, right now, mousesports, they're struggling. As we said, this, of course, isn't their map choice. They'll be going on to Dust 2 next, where I would imagine they'll feel a lot more comfortable. But we were still expecting a close matchup here on Inferno between these two. And we did also mention how important this matchup is for mousesports. If they win this, they confirm their top 3 placement. If they lose it, they do, I believe, have to rely on Navi beating Fnatic.
No, they'll have to rely on Fnatic beating Navi. Fnatic #1 at the moment. And with Navi in third,
Oh, okay.
if Navi win, they'll overtake them, and on head-to-heads, they'll be that little bit better. Obviously, when you look at the scores.
This is why we have
Mouse,
Mitch.
there we go. That's what I'm here for. So yeah, if Mouse lose this, then their position in ESL Pro League moving forward will be determined by the match of Navi Fnatic, and they do not want that. You don't want to take a risk. Well, you know, if we lose, hopefully that team loses. No, you don't want to be doing that. You want to come in and make sure that you're walking away with the victory. Also, for Astralis, for them to make it, they have to win this one, and Navi have to lose to Fnatic, I believe. So it's a really, like, we're in this very spicy part of the tournament where this match matters more than anything for both of these teams. And with Astralis having 7 rounds on the board already, they're putting a lot of pressure on mousesports. I mean, their foot is definitely on Mouse's back. They're pushing into pistols, 3 on the bomb site now. This could be pretty dangerous for Astralis, but again, they're using their utility, they're focusing the pit player. Robs picks up 1, but then he's down. Trades are perfect, and this should be clean enough by Astralis.
Yeah, I believe Woxic has already been spotted as well above the smoke there, so indeed being cleared out. Carrigan flanking through, able to actually catch 1, but wasn't able to follow it up again. Unfortunately, Device actually just waiting in that long smoke comes through and trades it out, so it is going to be now 8-2, around there where we, of course, didn't expect a lot from mousesports. They didn't have the greatest of investments, but now they're coming out with the op on Woxic. They have the full buy on everyone. And really, to manage to actually pull this half back into anything they can feel comfortable with, they do need at least 6 rounds. Ideally, they do want 7 at the halftime at that point, then especially if they can pick up the pistol, they're right back in the game, and it can be a very competitive one, but I don't really think they can be dropping too many more rounds here, otherwise it's just going to be so difficult for them to make the comeback happen. Again, I do expect a lot more from them on Dust 2, but right now, Woxic actually just taking that peek towards Banana, finds the opening, the Vice goes down. That's a big name to claim early on.
Mousesports, the early duels, that was the problem towards those first 6 or 7 rounds. Now starting to answer with aggression across the map, but again and again, Astralis managed the trades. Chris J's tucked up close. He's hiding. Woxic gets 1 with the AWP, and now it's Chris's time to pounce. He sees them on the bomb site. He's waiting to catch them, and there we go. Trigger Discipline gets him a reward, but Glaive now knows where he is. The molly down to try and block it off. And a 2v4 for Astralis trying to get out. They have the info on where Chris is, and that's about it. They've decided that the rotates will have come in towards the A bomb site, and if they're going to do it, it's towards B. But already Mauser splitting back to have a 2-2 hold with Carrigan on his way to B. And so they will be lacking opportunities, but on the upside, they've got 2 smokes still to play with, so they can definitely get CT smoked off. But that might not matter either, because Mauser are actually playing bomb site. They're ready for this.
Yeah, ideally this is what you need right now. You don't want to have one player in the spawn just getting cut off and allowing them then to force the 2-on-1 on site. And Molly is well in play here that will be thrown over in towards second Oranges, I believe. Right now Frozen playing up closer though towards Oranges, finding that initial frag. Decides to swing out, which is, I guess, because of that Molotov being just behind them, kind of forced to do so. So leaving it now into the 3-on-1. A strong hold towards that B bomb site. It's going to be pretty much impossible at this point for Magisk to actually get that bomb down. Again, unfortunately, we're taken away towards the bottom of Banana, but Carrigan, he does come in and get himself that kill. So 3 players managing to survive. A relatively clean round there for Mouse. That's how you want to start getting back into this. Of course, some drops going to have to come in with both Frozen and Rops being short on money, not able to buy for themselves. Oh, I need to filter that chat off in a moment. But we do actually have a tactical timeout, the first one, and it's coming in from Astralis. We didn't have one from Mouse, no. I don't remember when we had, of course, the technical pauses, but I'm not recalling the tactical one so far, apart from Astralis using this, despite being up 8-3. You like it. They're like, okay, we've dropped 1 round here. In theory, if they do get some momentum going, they could still pull it back to 7 rounds and a half. Let's have a pause, see what we want to do, and try and immediately shut them down before they can get any momentum going.
Yeah, it's an absolute joy working with an auto director so well structured. I guess we could do 7 jobs ourselves. That's pretty much the only opportunity we have. I don't get it. I mean, surely it's an easy system to program, you know?
Some
this guy's
auto
about to
director
shoot
is so
someone,
hit or
don't
miss.
leave.
Some games,
Yeah.
fine. This one, it's swapping away from people as they're getting kills, and I'm like, no, don't do that.
I think it's the problem. I can't tell if they're going to hit or miss.
Oh,
shoot.
Look at Long already, though. Glaive, yeah, Glaive has just sprinted up Long, has one teammate behind them. They know he's there. They saw the shoulder, so a Molotov going in leaves them with no options other than to, of course, take that fight right there. And with this now, they're just going to try and split in on B. Fortunately for Mouse, they realize this, so they are taking that banana control to at least restrict the split. And unfortunately for Astralis, they do need to get these kills because that bomb is towards the bottom of banana. One quickly being found by Glaive. Frozen, if he does go through the smoke, he's in trouble. Yeah, no, Frozen's just screwed at this point. He's going to need to come up massive.
Flash up in the air. He was hoping they'd be around the corner. Can't get a frag. And now the 2 versus 4, what will be a retake as well. Not looking too likely that they're even going to go for this. With the AWP, you don't want to be risking such heavy utility to go in for a pretty low chance of success. And I mean, this feels like it's just a save simulator for Mouse. We have retake servers. Now we're on a save server. That's what Mouse are playing. And they've been fairly successful so far, but I mean, I would not like to be in their position. I'm not envious of them. 3-9 down at the end of this.
Yeah, I don't think many people would be too envious of this current position for Mouse. It is definitely becoming a little bit difficult. Woxic does manage to actually pick up one there, hunting through the apartments. One more player trying to follow it up. Xyp9x, he could walk into the exact same angle and suffer the same fate. Although, as I say, that Woxic is moving a little bit more forward. He gets the shot connected, but unfortunately not enough for the kill. So the question is now, Rops, does he get that kill and retrieve the op? And indeed, he will manage to do so. So in the end, the main weapon at least being saved over. They do have a pretty terrible economy once again. I mean, once that op is dropped over to Woxic, it's only Chris J who actually isn't able to buy up a rifle or something along those lines. So I wouldn't be surprised there if we do see the buy, of course, coming in around the AWP. Again, some limitations definitely there. They actually go for the second op. I was going to say they could consider it. I wasn't sure if they'd want to, just because, again, it leaves them with less utility, but they've decided to go for it, and really the rounds where they have found the most success is when they've been able to find these early picks, so it does make sense.
I think we're gonna swap relays at halftime, Dean.
The other one might be better, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed we get a slightly better result over there. As I see a beautiful hold of Graveyard coming through. Carrigan's died over towards the B bomb site. Fast rotates from Woxic, who's got the AWP to play around, but with 2 smokes left, it's unlikely that he manages to get an angle. Trying to get his way over to Coffins. The flash does slow them down a little bit, but here comes the utility through from Astralis. They're about to blitz forward. Woxic gonna go through that molly and try to jump around to help his teammate out. Frozen still not spotted towards the back of the bomb site. Magisk and a Molotov has to go forward. He's not spotted by Woxic and taken down. Oh, this is a disaster. Frozen falls too. Magisk with a huge play. And just Rops remains to try and make something of this round. I mean, I don't... mousesports are just getting rolled on. Like, this is insane from Astralis.
Yeah, this is... It's completely out of control. Rops right now is sticking around. I'm not too sure what the goal of this one is. I guess they're hoping maybe if one player tried to hunt them through the smoke, he could get the kill, perhaps even move in then for the 1-on-2. But that is not going to happen. Xyp9x has already gone over towards A, so this may have been the correct decision by him to just stick around in the spawn instead and try and save that weapon over. But again, I mean, despite having the full loss bonus, it's not going to be enough for everyone to buy into this round. This time, not being able to save an op over either means that it is 3 players who can't really afford to buy. They could drop 1 rifle, sure. Woxic could also buy a rifle for himself, but it's not really enough for the full buy. So the question is, what do they consider right now? Because they can take kind of a half investment here, maybe try and get that final round down at a half. But obviously at that point, fighting for 4-11, 4 rounds on your CT side is really not a good result. Again, we do have a tactical pause coming in. The second one now being used by Mouse. And indeed, just the half investment, spending what they can. Pistols, Kevlar, a few nades as well. I like that. Frozen actually pulls out a molly, a smoke and a nade then on Carrigan as well, alongside Rops, who does have a small bit. So there's a chance in this round, at least for mousesports, to try and do something, but overall, okay, actually, Chris J is going ahead and fully invested. He's bought up a Hero M4, so obviously he's not going to have a perfect buy in the next round. Everyone else will, so it won't impact them massively, and it does give them also a slightly higher chance in this round, so kind of risk-reward, I suppose.
Carrigan lobbing utility down to the bottom of B. It's not netting them too much as Frozen falls on long.
Oh. He's
Astralis
like, here, just take it. If you wanted it that bad. That was unfortunate.
13 HP for Rops left. Like, this is just slowly falling apart. Well, not slowly. It's very quickly falling apart for them. You can take solace in the fact that this is Astralis' map pick, but that's about the only positive there is to draw from it. Woxic's going to bait them with the pistol. He's actually going to get a kill. Hold on now, Rops. He's finding one from behind. This is insane. They're pulling it back. Rival retrieved by Woxic. With Rops being low HP, Pit's the perfect position for him to play. Woxic can't cover the drop down anymore, though. That's a little bit of an issue. As the smokes go down, they drop, but Rops still wins that fight. And as Dupree falls, Astralis are left wondering how this went so wrong so quickly. The swing for Rops isn't good, and as Woxic dies through the smoke, that's going to be it. 11-3. So close to pulling that one back, though, with just the pistols and one rifle.
Oops. Thank you, chat. I forgot to remove the timeout thing. No, that was ridiculous. Honestly, I thought Rops was screwed once he was caught in the pit as well. He was like 5 health, of course, the entire time. I figured he wouldn't really be able to do too much, but somehow got that kill on the player dropping out a balcony, and then they made it a much closer round than it really should have been. But obviously, being recovered in the end, 2 pretty easy kills being found. Obviously, Rops had been tagged down by a teammate, so that made it a little bit harder. But yeah, I mean, obviously, it doesn't matter in the long run. That's the issue. They just need to get this 4th round now. They need to make sure that they give themselves some sort of room to work with on the second half. Especially if they were to lose the pistol round in this current position, they would be pretty much screwed. Right now over towards Banana, they actually are pushing in, and Magisk able to get that first frag. Again, unfortunately, we did miss it. We do see now Frozen being forced to just retreat back, and I believe Astralis trying to just immediately commit in towards B with this. Chris J somehow manages to get one. The spy having actually jumped, I believe, by mistake.
It was a bit of a mouse wheel. They know Frozen was playing the B-bomb side as well. Had info to play with. Oh, look at the flank coming through over towards the A-bomb side. Dupree, he's got an angle, but he can't see Woxic just now. So Woxic might actually drop the bomb here with the AWP in his hands. He's looking at the right angle. The flank's not there just yet. Oh, but he gave it away. He's about to be shot in the back. Dupree picks him up. And Frozen's left to try and recover it as a bomb plant will inevitably go down on the A-bomb side. There's no such thing as a save here. The Krieg recovered. Small opportunity, but it is very small. They need it more than anything. The 4th round on the board. I mean, you can't just give Astralis a dominant T-half like this. With 12 rounds on the board, it's very unlikely Mouse make it back. It's very unlikely either way, obviously. You know, it's not amazing. It's not like that's suddenly going to turn the game around for them, but it does give them a little bit more wiggle room in the next half to not be shut out from probably just losing a pistol.
Yeah, Frozen likely going to drop here to the opto as he steps around long corner, and indeed that does give us a 12-3 scoreline for Astralis. Now, heading on to the second half here of their map choice. Again, this is their map choice. We had a look at it though. We were thinking, okay, Mouse can definitely make this a close one. And Dust 2, we know, definitely will be a more competitive game than what we've seen here, or at least I hope so. I know Mouse definitely will be able to show us a bit more. But as always, guys, at the halftime, we do just have a couple minutes break. I think, are we going to swap relay while we're at this halftime here?
Yeah,
I'll throw it over to the break screen just for a moment, guys. So do stick with us. We're hoping that the other relay, the other GoTV that we've been supplied will actually have a working auto director.
still be running till my back broke. Halfway, lost hope and I'll check it. Hard roads, I didn't think I'd come back fast. 'Cause I was running roads, so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I ended up zero. This is such a ghostly revelation. I may have fucked up all my chances. Been around the globe, looked around, nothing fitted, seen high and lows.
Alright, boys, unfortunately we weren't able to get onto the other GoTV for the moment. We're waiting to see if maybe the admins can do something about that. But for now, we will be continuing on with this one. So I'll continue doing some observing for us at least. But this second pistol round obviously is going to be so important. I mean, it goes without saying, 3-12. If mousesports don't pick this up, then they're probably just going to be looking forward to Dust 2 to see if they can bring this one back. Right now, though, mousesports grouping up towards Banana. It looked like that nade, or rather the smoke, was going to be tossed down. Oh, the nade indeed it was. Yeah, that was going to be tossed down. If they had it probably would have done quite a bit of damage, but instead just waiting to take that contact. They don't clear out sandbags. Okay, Glaive's able to get himself one. Unfortunately, that may not be enough, because if mousesports were to commit the B right now, it would be just Xyp9x left alone. Fortunately, with the smoke going down and with mousesports obviously unaware of if it could be a little bit of a stack, they do slow it down for a moment. So now there is a second player to help out. Xyp9x going to be able to get that first frag, will eventually go down. And in towards the spawn now. Dupree, he's actually just wrapped around towards construction. So, I mean, good job from Astralis so far. At least been able to trade this out, keep themselves now in a decent spot for the retake. But mousesports, they need to win out this after plant. It is crucial.
I see Device here over towards Banana. Takes a fight to Carrigan and deletes him. Mousesports struggling, but Woxic takes one, immediately traded on. Astralis moving into the last player. Rob suspected to be in the back of the bomb site, spotted now, and a quick headshot later. It's a defuse coming through. Magisk has managed to win that one out. The final shot, leaving him on 2 HP as well, and they've got the defuse just about.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Dean, I have good news. Apparently they've fixed the other GoTV.
Okay.
Find a moment to jump over.
I don't know if we will. We might just have to wait for the next map. This one might be over relatively soon, to be fair. I mean, the bomb went down, so with that we can see a little bit of a force fire here from Mouse, and that's what they're going to go for. So it is giving them at least one rifle. Carrigan, I think, could drop an AK as well if he wants to go for it. Willie is the question. I think she buys up a scout in the end. That's a very interesting choice, because, I mean, a lot of the time you don't even want an op on the T side of Inferno, let alone a scout. But, I mean, obviously knowing also that up against Astralis, they're up against Astralis who won't have the greatest devices. They need a second round and a half, so they do have a few SMGs. So perhaps he can pick some people off, but it's mainly those Kriegs, of course, that we will be looking towards. For now, though, most of the players are around ramp. A couple of them working around second mid. I was going to say it looks like they do want that banana control, but I think they've decided elsewise now, actually, as they do begin to look for the control around mid brackets, potentially. And there is a 4-man A-stack in place from Astralis.
They have made the perfect read on this as mousesports look to move forward. The weapons in play on the A-bomb side are mostly SMGs, but even still, combine them together with all the utility that they've still got in play, and this is a very dangerous push. 1 minute left on the clock as Mouse move forward. Utility goes over. Dupree being blinded by that temporarily, and he pulls off the angle. He'll spot it, and he sees a player holding him, knows it's a rifle he probably doesn't want to mess with, and just lobs a molly back to split the T's and make sure they can't mount a very good offensive. Peek out from long does a lot of damage. With Carrigan and Woxic losing a lot of HP. Magisk in for one in a second as well. And Astralis moving forward here. Dupree looking to catch Woxic off up close. But Deagle's holding him though and takes him down. Finally a kill to be found. With Xyp9x still tucked in the corner on long. And they weren't expecting that swing. Astralis 14 rounds on the board, and mousesports bomb plant or not, they've not got the best of chances really at connecting this round, as it's going to be an eco from them unless they decide to force it all the way. 14-3, I mean, yeah, I don't blame them for forcing here.
Our auto director not showing us kills there in the end, but I don't know about you, but I got like a grind shot. It was like one of the players stuck up on the planter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's giving us nice views, just not the kills. I did try and observe it at one point, but I'm not an observer, so it's not good. I said grind. That's not bad. But yeah, I mean, 14-3 right now. Another force play having to come in from Mouse, as you would expect. I mean, they could have ecoed and tried to go for 12 rounds in a row just to get an overtime, but it's not a very feasible approach, rather. So they're going to try and see if they can win in this force play here and find some hope a little bit earlier on. But I mean, at this point, it is just kind of looking inevitable.
Yeah, absolutely. Walking into a 3-man stack on B as well doesn't help their case. Utility being thrown over. Xyp9x is in position to catch a couple of them off guard as they move forward. There's one kill for him. He drops the sight. Molly in hand. Gets it out. He's not dead somehow. Magic's through the smoke. What is happening? The Molly does so much damage as well. Chris J on 52. Rops to 20. And although it's a 2v2, they've very little utility. Just the 2 smokes left to play with from Mouse. They can waste a little bit of time with that. But as Astralis move forward with 2 mollies, with a frag grenade, these are very dangerous weapons to have. Plus the weapons they've got, and armor, and full health. Very unlikely Mouse do anything about it, and it's all Chris J in a 1v2. He's walking back over towards the Molotov, catches them off guard for a kill. Dupree has to move forward quickly, but with the UMP, it's the perfect weapon for the job. He catches him, and with the defuse kit, it's easily a 15th round for Astralis. That plant does give them a little bit more money, but realistically, mousesports have been slapped off the face of the earth here on Inferno. One final buy, perhaps. And Magisk has had an insane game so far. 20 kills on the board. He slowed down in the last 5 or 6 rounds, but in that first half, I think he was in 15 kills by the end of it. Pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, Rops indeed having an okay performance. Again, we can't. One thing that I don't like is at halftime, I don't believe the ADR stays up on these servers either. Perhaps it does, but I'm pretty sure it does reset. But yeah, I mean, as you'd expect, everyone pretty much over on the Astralis side performing. You have Rops and Woxic. They've definitely had some rounds so far, but overall, Mouse haven't really been able to get anyone going exactly. Right now, though, I mean, pretty standard hold from Astralis. Not going for as much aggression initially. It looks like now they do want a couple players to try and challenge him towards Banana, and with that, Glaive just spamming down through the smoke and the flames at a Molotov, able to get himself a quick kill in towards middle. Then we see an exchange, and unfortunately for mousesports, again, it is going in favor of Astralis. Dupree coming up through short gets one, and now it's all on Chris J. 1-on-3 to try and keep them in this map, as it looks like Astralis, they will indeed have that 16-3. Again, apologies, missed that final kill. Was a bit more focused on the final player. But that was a one-sided map. I am hoping, of course, now we can swap over to that other go-to-V, so I do hope the Observant will be better in the next map. Apologies, guys. Sometimes Autodirector just decides it doesn't want to work.